Yo, what is up, everybody? We're back after a couple weeks of holiday season, I guess you could say. Big shout out to Emily Doyle, remixing our intro there. I dig it. Very nice. We're going to have her back on the show shortly. Quick little recap of what's been going down, a lot in the holiday season for pro wrestling all over the world. We will talk about it as we go through the year in review. We're going to talk about 6 different categories, 6 nominations in each one. You guys in the chat, let us know who you think wins the awards as well. And we're going to review 2PW, where I step back into the ring to do a couple matches. And some interesting stuff happened with the boys on the broadcast as well. So we'll get into that. But first, let's welcome everybody. Wally's here. Good to see you, Wally. Monstar, I see you over here, Monstar, hiding. What are you doing over there in my window? You creepy little Canadian. I'm still celebrating Christmas here. My tree's still up. You guys see we got CJ stocking and Ray stocking and Doc and my stocking are up there, I got my little Fuji and my Percy hanging out over here. Can't have a show without your Percy hanging out. Brian LG, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. Brand new year, new WrestleSense, a little bit of changes, We fire away on each other, but we're going to keep it a little more PG. Not maybe PG-13. NC-17, how about that? How about NC-17? Kelly's in the house. Killshot is here. Good to see you. Andy Price in the building. He's been dropping all kind of knowledge on Wrestle's Kingdom in our one chat. I appreciate that. Jackhammer Nation. There he is. Jesse Jackhammer's here. Clinton's in the building. Welcome. Thank you for all the shares. We're growing the channel slowly but surely, folks. We're up to 153 subscribers. We're going to keep it rocking. Appreciate all the support you guys have given us. Especially on this transition into the new channel. Patty's in the house. Great to see you. So we're going to review the 2PW show. I'm going to try to do it without losing my voice. There's a good possibility I cancel my LTD show if this keeps up as well. We'll see. But let's bring on the boys to make fun of me and have some fun here. How's it going, guys?
What's up? What's up? Hey, man, you're sick. Don't.
I told you what you need to do, but we're moving to PG-13, so we're going to leave that one alone.
NC-17, I guess, is probably better.
Okay, well, you need a little throat coat. We'll just leave it at that.
Let's talk about horror movies real quick, Doc. I know you're big into horror movies.
Oh.
The Evil Dead trailer, that new thing.
I know, Evil Dead Rise. I cannot wait for this
sweet.
movie. It's going to be so amazing. It looks so good. The trailer got me. Oh, I'm
Are we going
fired
to
up.
get Ash at all? That's my question. Will we see Ash in it at all?
No.
You could have your Evil Dead.
He's
I'm ready for Saw 10
Oh, you and fucking Saw.
or whatever title they come up with.
I know, Saw X. It'll be Saw X. Come on, you know.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that too. I like Saw. I like the Saw movies.
Do.
However, Evil Dead has just been a very, very, very big fan of it. Actually, for Christmas, I received the Evil Dead 4K box set. It has Evil Dead 1, 2, and the whole season of Ash versus Evil Dead,
which was also very good, I must admit.
Yes,
I really like it.
It's gonna be awesome. Happy New Year, and I missed everybody. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, please don't lie. We don't like it when you lie.
I always love it. I love it when I lie.
Rusty's in the house. He never lies. We love his and Brooklyn Joker's in the building as well. Great to see you guys. So let's. A couple weeks ago, we had our 2PW show. All three of us were actually involved for a change.
Yeah.
As this moron made a fool out of himself, but I had fun. So
you
let's.
Did fine. You did fine.
Let's get a local focus.
Get rid of some of the nerves a little bit, and it'll get better as time goes on. You know.
Well, as I said it before, if it wasn't such a family atmosphere and people were so damn cool. Like from the two shows I went to.
It'd be more difficult on you. Right.
It was good times, man. It was good times.
I need to do some sit-ups
too. You two can speak for yourselves, but I will address that situation a little bit later on in the broadcast.
We'll be talking about it here in just a second, a little bit on extracurricular activities went down, and history is going to be made in 2023 in 2PW. Let's get to our local focus. All right, this is one I'm going to cherish for sure, for the opportunity. Once again, I got to thank Doc and everybody for hyping me up to get me back into this. But it wasn't about me. It was about the entire show, because there was title changes. There was surprises. There was a little bit of everything in this show. I mean, to me,
there really was.
Looking back on it now, it's one of my favorite indie shows that I've ever seen. I mean, I was in the moment, so I was nervous. I was worried about going up there and saying something wrong and stuff. But now that I look back and saw some of the highlights and stuff, I'm going, that was a phenomenal show from start to finish. So let's kick it right off. I mean, Doc, we had a championship match for the opening fight. Don Murphy and Xander Gabriel.
Xander Gabriel versus the sleeper Don Murphy. Don Murphy's held this title strong for about 2 to 3 months, but just wasn't enough. And your new Anarchy champion, someone who's taken quite a different turn lately. I'm talking about the breaker against Xander Gabriel.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him, I guess. I'm not going to, I don't like his, we'll talk about his actions later.
Could jump in real quick about that. I just want to go on record saying that I truly feel like this was probably one of Xander's best matches in the past several months, year. I mean, he's continuously wanting to do what he needs to do to improve, and I think that's going to continue with him just honing his craft more and more. So, again, yeah, like you said, kudos to him. And I'm always a big Deputy Dawn guy, so.
Yeah. He does not like to be called that anymore.
He's Deputy Dawn to me, damn it.
He's just a sleeper.
And you see CJ in the ring there. He got a little action that he didn't expect later on, but we'll get to that. But yes, as you said, Breaker Gate, Xander Gabriel, new, and a different attitude, like you said, from Xander Gabriel. We saw him come back out later on as well.
Yes, we did. We'll talk about that another time. But right now, I want to talk about the social media icon, Tad Jarvis, taking on JJ Rumham. JJ Rumham hitting Tad Jarvis in the end with a vicious share shot. I mean, I had to drive the poor guy home. I know what he was going through. Also, Jason Hendricks making his debut. You thinking it was quite of a swerve on poor Tad. Tad thought, hey, I have a friend in Jason Hendricks. Jason Hendricks turned his back on Tad Jarvis and actually teaming up and forming pretty much an alliance with JJ Rumham.
Well, this was my debut. This was my first match to do so. I was worried about getting in and out of the ring. And then as soon as I get in there, the mic gets ripped out of my damn hand to start me off. So, I was caught off guard a little bit. My first match in the ring, you can see that belly there. I got to get rid of it. But as soon as I went to introduce Tad Jarvis, as you see it here, JJ, as Doc said, rips the mic out of my hands and says he's not here. Tad's not here. And I'm like, now what are they going to do? And yes, indeed, we had a fake Tad Jarvis come out. I believe I got a shot of him here. I didn't know what was going on. I was discombobulated, nervous as it was. And then, like you said,
what a way to get broke in again.
Look, it's Tad.
Throw me to the fire, right? I mean, he got a terrible reception. Everyone knew it wasn't Tad when he came out.
Oh, that's Tad. It looks like Tad to me with their blurry graphics.
And there's me getting the hell out of Dodge.
Wow.
2 seconds later, these two start beating the piss out of each other. It was kind of weird. I was a little disoriented, but I got the hell out of there. And there is the thing you're talking about, Doc.
He walloped
got mangled.
Yes. I mean, the chair came home with us. Tad took it to remind him to, get ready because there's a war starting with JJ Rumham, which I wouldn't wish that on anybody. JJ Rumham, one of the most vicious men I've seen in that square circle, especially in the area of Pittsburgh independent wrestling. But my God, did he wallop Tad with that chair. So I hope Tad's ready. I just hope he's prepared for what's in store for him at 2PW.
The top part of the chair, the metal, is actually completely bent. And that's from the contact that just hit on his freaking head.
Yes.
I mean, this ain't ballet, people. This is professional wrestling. So.
No, I saw it firsthand. And then it was, Rumham and Hendricks leaving together at the end of the match.
Like I said, an alliance formed. I'm very scared of this alliance. I mean, Jason Hendricks is hungry. He's young. And to have somebody who's been in the business like JJ Rumham, giving you those, just giving you pointers, taking you under his wing. I tell you what, Jason Hendricks is going to be a dangerous competitor.
That's the first time I've met Jason Hendricks, but I like the kid a lot. I think he's got a very, very bright future.
He's got a match in January coming up at the end of the month too, and we will cover those matches here shortly. There's some very intriguing matches that we're going to have. Now we have a second title fight of the night, and you have the Brotherhood, who Doc, they've had it since that title since like March or May or something. Right?
Yeah, it's just almost a year. They almost have held the titles for a year here in 2PW. I mean, they've had that a hell of a reign as tag team champions, but tonight, they always talk about family over everything. Family over everything was just not enough to contain the newly reformed Swole Patrol. And I'm talking about Thick Vic Braun and VJ Hales. I mean, the man looks like he's chiseled from stone. And they actually, for VJ Hales to come back and win the 2PW tag team titles, my God, what an impact these guys have had on 2PW. They are very, very brash. They are rude. They are mean. They'll make you carry their bags to the car. God knows, I've put many miles on my
or just spitting truth. I don't know. Or are they just spitting some truth? I like all four of these guys. Don't get me wrong, but
all four. It was a hell of a match, but just Swole Patrol, just they just were too much. And I don't think the Brotherhood took them. They took them seriously, but Swole Patrol, if you think about it, attacked them. Our last event before this one, and basically got into their heads. You know what I mean?
Games.
Yeah, their spiritual advisor wasn't out there. It just was not a good day for the Brotherhood. I do see the Brotherhood coming back here soon, and I really feel bad because I've seen when the Brotherhood gets mad at somebody, it's not pretty. Not pretty at all.
All four were great workers, and they looked the part, too. They look like superstars, all four of them. And these two were beat. And they proved it by taking those titles off of them. It was a great match. So 2 title matches, 2 title changes. We'll see. Will that continue in this crazy night? That was the fight before Christmas. This one got wild.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It was whiz for everyone. That's right. Brotherly love, bringing their meat beater, as they call him, Dior Castro. And the reason they call him the meat beater is, yes, these guys do make Philly steaks Philly style. sometimes at the events. So if you
They're
are
pretty
blessed,
fire. I've had one.
yes, if you're blessed, definitely take one with Wiz. And of course, Rev Ron Hunt, Josh Kavad, and Curtis Rigotti of the Apex. I mean, this match was bananas. I've caught some matches in my time, but my God, this one was just purely insane from start to finish. And believe it or not, Brotherly Love getting their first win in 2PW. That's right, their first win in 2PW. And on the Apex's watch as well. I mean, it was revenge, and revenge was sweet.
I mean, the kids would say this shit was bananas. BANANA.
Oh, wow.
Brotherly Love has this.
I came up
energy.
with a great one-liner on this matchup. Thank you. I hope it gets shared everywhere. So, it was a good one. I don't toot my own horn often. I'll toot my horn for that one.
Well, explain. Bust it out. What was it?
Rev Ron Hunt getting ready to jump on everybody. Everybody's outside the ring. It's carnage. Rev Ron Hunt goes like this. I say, Rev Ron Hunt getting ready. Believes he could fly. The last person that believed he could fly is now in jail in Chicago. And then up and over, Ron Hunt went and took everybody out.
I wanted to get the video clip of that because he literally flew and it looked like Superman. I don't think I did get the shot of it or not. But no, he just jumped right over the top. It was unreal. And like I said, Brotherly Love just brings a crazy energy.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I if you guys have a chance, they're actually going to start branching out and wrestling around like the Philly area and other areas I'm hearing. So if you have a shot to go see them, they're worth the drive, guys.
Impressive. Like, we got a CJ fan club here.
Hot
Wheels. It's old Wheels.
Wheels in the back. Good to see you, bro.
Hey, he's the man. He likes butter on his Pop-Tarts. Okay, so keep going.
Oh my God, what is
There's
wrong
nothing wrong
with
with
him,
that.
man?
There's nothing wrong with that. It's so freaking good. Okay.
So I think I might have a shot or two
not
of this.
this piece of shit. Oh, never mind.
I'm not ready to address this situation just yet.
All right. Well,
we'll get there.
it just so happened this was the result.
I mean, yeah.
Can we address this?
The hell with it.
This was my second time out there. And for the second time, Preston comes out and rips the fucking mic out of my hand. So once again, he took over. He did this heartfelt promo. He called out some people, the owners of the company. He called out CJ. It looked like it was going in your favor, that he was supporting you. And then the next thing you know, this guy had a change of heart. What's going on, CJ? If you want to address it now, or you want to wait?
I'll address it now while it's still kind of fresh on my mind. And I'd like to just start off by saying this isn't really a promo per se, like your typical wrestling, screaming, whatever. This is just Craig talking, shooting the shit. First and foremost, Preston, there's no question that I respect the talent that you possess, but I'm not quite sure where your head's at, and you got a lot to learn, bud. You call me out on social media and say that my drug of choice for the next 12 months is going to be Preston Everest. And you know what? That's all fine and dandy. But here's the thing you're forgetting, Preston. Just like actual drugs, because it's no surprise that I am a recovering alcoholic addict. But there's one thing that drugs were not able to do, and it's not going to be any different for you, bud. Drugs could not take me down, and I promise you, you are definitely younger. You are definitely in better shape than me. There's no question there. I'm not going to argue that. But the amount of adversity that I've come across and been able to overcome in the past 18 plus years, you're going to have to put me in the fucking ground to end me, brother. I promise you that. And I apologize for cussing, but I'm just telling you how I feel, Preston. I am going to do my damnedest the next 12 months to put you through living hell. You've been doing this for a few years. And again, I'm not going to discredit the talent that you have or the accolades that you're no doubt going to achieve in the future, but you have a lot to learn. I promise you this, and I'm going to end it here. I've been doing this for 25 years. I promise you, I've forgotten a lot more than you've been able to learn and comprehend in the past couple years of you doing this. Does that mean that I don't see a bright future for you? 100% I do. I'm going to give credit where it's due. And you've got all the tools in the world to become the future of this business. But you didn't have to do me dirty like you did, you piece of shit. So January 27th, I promise you, you are going to regret what you did to me. And it's going to be a hell of a year where you're going to learn to respect me like you said that you do, which you apparently don't, for taking the cheap shot that you did. And that's all I got.
So for those who don't know the rest of the details, Preston had a contract that he wanted CJ to be a part of all of his matches in 2023. So, I mean, the agreement looked like, hey, I respect you, CJ, as a valued referee, a veteran, and I want you to ref all my matches. So the little swerve that he decided to pull was not for his referee, but as his opponent. So we're going to get a series of matches starting at the end of this month.
Oh, it's going to be a year of fun, bud. And you want to call yourself the peak performer? I used to know a little bit something back in the day about hitting the slopes, bud. I promise you that. That's not who I am anymore, but I know how to hit the slopes with the best of them.
It's going to be interesting. So
the only thing I worry about is this, buddy. You haven't been in the ring in how long? And I'm only saying this as a concerned friend. Somebody.
And you know what? I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a concern of mine, but I am that confident in the knowledge and in the skills that I possess. Although most of my career, let's be honest, has been wearing the stripes as a referee, but I have a mind for this business, and that is something that I will give credit where credit's due. Preston Everest, you do get it. So kudos to you. But 25 years compared to your couple, bud, you got a big hill to climb. It'll be a double black diamond like at Seven Springs, bud.
Just be careful, please.
I mean, for what it's worth, and I'm kind of with Doc on that. We don't want to see you have any type of injury. We know you can go. You know you've done it a million times. But you are medically cleared. You are in better shape than you were 8 months ago.
Yeah, I got to get my fat ass back in the gym. The holidays kicked my ass. But listen, I mean, there's no question that at this present time that Preston Everest, you are a better athlete than me. I'm not going to say something that isn't true, but the mind games I'm going to put you through, boy,
should be quite interesting. And that's going to start the end of this month. We'll get to that.
January 27th in Worthington, PA, people.
Previewing it there. Next matchup, I finally did get to introduce these guys, Stevie LaBelle and Lebanon Dawn. Interesting matchup, Doc. What'd you take? And there's Xander Gabriel. We saw him come back out, the new Anarchy champion, with Stevie LaBelle.
I mean, Stevie LaBelle come out with his best friend. This guy's has had Stevie's back for I don't know how long. We haven't seen the Lebanon Dawn Joey Moses for a while. He likes to vacation for long time periods of time. Plus, he was holding the tag titles at another promotion with Tito Orich. But what I was saying is, Lebanon Dawn is very, very, what can I say, cunning, and he's very crafty with his money. He's offered CJ numerous times on.
Yes, he has. Yes,
and,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but Stevie LaBelle thinking his friend's gonna, and Xander Gabriel hits him with the belt and actually costs Stevie LaBelle the match, ending their friendship. Stevie was just distraught. I actually saw him on the way out. There's a video on the 2PW of me trying to talk to him. He feels like he has no friends. He just feels alone. And right there, Xander Gabriel, a man who's had his back, wanting to be part of Hossman Inc. and other things, it's done. Like, Stevie LaBelle is going to come back. I feel bad for Xander Gabriel because not only did he turn his back on his best friend, Xander Gabriel also has something that belongs to, in my opinion, belongs to the first ever Anarchy champion, which is Stevie LaBelle. So I hope Xander's ready because he really opened up a can of worms that I don't think he's going to be able to close.
CJ got a lot of support there in the chat. Everyone says
I mean,
CJ's
I'm
gonna
going
back
to
it
do
up.
my
Love it.
damnedest. I promise you that. And I apologize. I stumbled over my words a little bit. I'm not a big promo guy. And to me, that wasn't me cutting a
That's stuff that needed to be said. It needed to be
I
said.
was speaking from the heart. And to me, that's more real than anything you're going to see by looking at bullet points or anything like that. This is as real as it gets. I was disrespected, and I'm not going to tolerate it, dude.
Yep. Another great fight. Another twist and turn throughout the night. Like I said, it was a very interesting show from start to freaking finish. Another wild one here. You got the STDs versus Anthony Young and Remy. You got the culmination. This one was just chaotic throughout. And Doc, how did you even call this mayhem?
Luckily enough, myself and, of course, Tony Kincaid, which I don't agree with him, but he is a hell of a talented commentator beside me. We ended up calling this matchup, and I will say it was kind of cool to see DD Vice team up with Anthony Young, who's also a member of Team Big League, brought out the beautiful Julia Lynn in this matchup, and it just wasn't enough, though. I think
you're both forgetting DD Vice was not there.
Oh, excuse me. It was not DD Vice. It was actually Anthony Young and
AJ Alexander.
Yeah, AJ Alexander. That's right. DD Vice broke down. I'm sorry about that. I'm thinking about when DD Vice teamed up with RJ Rumham. The
JJ Rumham.
Yeah, JJ Rumham. Jesus Christ, was fucking wrong.
It's a new year. It's a new year.
All right.
It's all
anyways, what I will say is this. The culmination was victorious, and now they are the #1 contenders for that 2PW tag team titles. I really hope and pray that Swole Patrol is watching, because you have two of the darkest, most evil people I've ever met in his business in the Mighty Racer, Remy LeVay, and of course the Satan survivor, Philip Archer, especially with that jerk freak, but we're not going to mention him.
Well, I was
on the outside.
He's always chaotic as well. You got to keep an eye on the freak because he'll get involved.
He chases you with kendo sticks when you try to get promos. It's not fun.
I'll tell you one thing about the freak. He's an idiot.
Ouch. And of course, the STDs, you know, they just weren't strong enough to spread throughout the throughout this matchup.
Yeah,
you like how I did that? All right.
I saw where you're going with that one.
Hey man, some of those STDs last.
The R. Kelly one's still your best line. I got to give you credit. So more freak as Gory comes out. Jamie, John McChet. What a battle this was between three really, really great talents. Gory coming in as the champ. I really thought Jamie Jameson was going to walk out just the way he was looking in the fight.
Yeah, but you have a veteran in Big League, John McChesney, and it just, I mean, he capitalized right when he needed to, and boom, your new 2PW top prospect champion, Big League, John McChesney. Now, not only the 2PW top prospect champion, also the Revenge heavyweight champion. So Big League 2 belts is in the house.
Johnny 2 belts.
Yes. He brought reindeers. He brought elves.
He brought elves. He brought reindeer. He brought everything to the house that day, and it was something else. I mean, it was a phenomenal matchup.
He didn't need the distractions because he was opportunist at the end, and he walks away with the gold. And it's going to be interesting to see.
John knows his craft, man. He's just like what it was Edge. He's like the ultimate opportunist.
Yes, he was. I mean, if you think about it, Jamie Jameson, I think it was the DVD, took Gory to the DVD, went for the pin, and John McChesney with the super kick. Was able to stagger the country hammer, Jamie Jameson, which is very hard to do. I mean, this man's a hoss.
He's a hoss.
He is a hoss.
It takes it takes a cinder block to knock him out, but it just wasn't enough. And John McChesney ended up winning the title, man. I mean, he did what he had to do. He had someone to watch over Freak on the outside, and Jordy Nolan, who is
got involved.
Yeah,
good old Big League Jordy.
Yeah, Big League Jordy's the man. I mean, he's the president of Team Big League. You know, what can I say? And, of course, Julia Lynn on the outside, hell of a hurricanrana. She was able to deliver. And it was just a sight to see, guys. It was an amazing show. And, John McChesney, just what can I say? He's an amazing individual. I mean, I've got to finally work with this guy after waiting almost a decade. And it's just an honor to call his matches, man. And it's just an honor to he's actually friended me. And, he's been teaching me some things. So God bless him, man. He's awesome.
3 title fights. 3 new champions.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a great show, start
Me
to
getting
finish.
back into the ring.
Yeah.
We'll give you a little bit of clips and stuff here,
yeah.
but if you want to watch more of 2PW, RWA, and our local stuff, in the description of this video, indywrestling.us here on YouTube, you can catch a lot of this action. If you subscribe to that channel, you can get this content early from all these big events that we're talking about. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. All the links to 2PW, RWA, and some of the local places also in the description. Check it out. I was just blessed to be a part of this show. I got invited back for the end of this month to help do it.
So
we have our
was
friend
I
Emily.
until I got dumped on my fucking head.
So don't feel bad, but there's a picture of Emily and your boy Blaze here, and Doc and Emily.
Hey,
CJ was
we look good together.
CJ was a little preoccupied after the show.
This is a little
just
hard.
a bit.
Luckily, passing concussion protocol and everything, you'll be okay to fight at the end of the month. And this is the next event, the January 27th show, 8 p.m. There's a little tournament style thing going on for this show. We're going to have Emily come back when we do the full preview for this show and break down a little bit more about the meaning behind the show. The 5-year anniversary, I believe, as well this year for 2PW.
Yeah, you are correct.
So we're going to celebrate throughout the year. I'll probably step in and do a little more announcing. CJ's getting in the ring, and as always, Doc will be holding it down at the table with our good friend.
He'll be holding the stick. Both
so
of
look
you
at this. There's 4 fatal 4-ways that are going to go down. This is the first, and apparently the 4 winners will face off in a fatal 4-way for the Walter Wright Memorial Tournament.
The winner getting a choice of any title match they want.
Wow.
Okay.
So here's your first one. You have some that we saw in the tag teams earlier. You see Gory, former champ now. He'd love to get another shot back at McChesney, try to take that back. And tell me a little bit about David Lawless. I don't know much about him.
Lawless is flawless, brother.
He's one of those angriest lawyers I've ever met in my life, but this man has taken down some wrestling greats in the courtroom. We won't get into that, but
Jim. Yeah, we will. Jim Cornette.
Yeah, he did. He actually helped deathmatch wrestler G Raver defeat Jim Cornette in court. I mean, this man, he's dangerous. The gavel, David Lawless, is dangerous, but the thing is, like I said, I'm not going to say too much about him because he could use it in a court of law against me. He's already threatened me numerous times.
Like I said, we'll get in depth on these matches closer. I just
but
want to do a quick
not
preview.
Count out Julian J. But go ahead, sorry.
Another interesting one. We've seen Joshua Kavad. We saw Don Murphy and JJ, as well as all 4 of these are in the last show. And now they'll go against each other. And now these fatal 4-ways, correct me if I'm wrong, they're not elimination. They're just first fall, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's how they do it.
I think that is it. I will have to double check with our owner, Marshall Gambino. But yes.
Marshall the Bull.
So that's the second one. There's the third one. And with the Anarchy champ in there, Corey, Philip Archer, and Stevie LaBelle, that's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. Stevie LaBelle doesn't only have a bone to pick with Xander Gabriel. Him and Philip Archer, former members of Hossman Inc. and also former best friends. Philip Archer turning his back.
These are some very interesting matchups.
Yes, Corey Futuristic could capitalize on this. I'm just saying, you know how he is, CJ. You know he takes opportune moments, and right now, you know, Stevie LaBelle is going to be out for blood.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. My focus will be on other things that night, but I'll have to catch the replay on indywrestling.us. You see what I did there? Huh?
I did.
Nice sponsor.
Tony Kincaid taught you well about promoting. But anyways, this joke.
So another great matchup this is going to be. And me personally, it was very interesting because I got to meet all these people this past show and get to talk to all of them a little more. Just a ring announcer, nobody special, but it's so cool to get behind the scenes and find out, about these dudes a little bit. Corey's a very interesting dude. He was on the STD Christmas special over on Sorg's channel, which was mighty funny. You got to check it out if you haven't. So a couple more matches scheduled for 2PW. Here's another one.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
And there's Jason. I knew Jason was in one of them.
I think Jason Hendricks, man, he could capitalize on this and actually, pretty much pull the biggest upset ever in 2PW history.
Yeah.
Jamie Jameson taking on the mighty racer Remy LeVay versus the Lebanon Dawn Joey Moses, and now this newcomer Jason Hendricks. Maybe we see JJ Rumham try to coach him in this one, and maybe even have his back on this one. Who knows? But then again, JJ Rumham involved in a pretty vicious 4-way earlier that night.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Those are some great matchups. I love little mini tournaments and stuff like that on a show, and that's going to be
different.
Super,
I could dig it. I could dig it.
So here's the one with the elephant in the room right here. Stepping back into the ring against Preston Everett. The first match of how many total are there?
I don't. How many shows are there in?
There's 6 or 7. So it look like a best of 7 series or something going down.
It's gonna go. Here's the end. End all be all. It ain't done till I fucking say it's done. That's how we're rolling. Okay.
There you go. So,
but
Preston wanted you. Thought he tried to pull the wool over your head, saying he wanted you to be the referee. But now, as an opponent, I'm pretty sure you can teach him a few lessons.
I mean, I hope to, because again, I'm not discrediting the talent that he possesses, but you got a lot to learn, my friend.
So when was let me ask you this while we're here, CJ. When was the last time you legally stepped into a ring for a scheduled match?
Oh boy.
Revenge Pro Wrestling against Chris LaRusso 2 years ago, something like that, the night before Thanksgiving.
Now I know people seem to want to get involved with you because they know you're a worker as well as a ref. So you got some extracurricular activities along the way here and there.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm willing to help out anybody that, wants the help, but this is going to be a learning lesson for Preston Everett. I promise you.
I'm very interested in that. Maybe I'll get to introduce you. Who knows? I won't say anything stupid. I'm professional about what I do. I'm professional about what I do. Although when I did go back into the ring after you were attacked, I was legit concerned. I mean, 3 people had to help you to the fucking back. I mean, I'm not sugarcoating it.
No,
I was stuck.
I got dumped right on my fucking head. let's call it what it is.
Yeah, I mean, just had Papa and Marshall in the ring with you.
Yeah,
no longer than a minute after they left was the change of fortune.
And I'm gonna take a man for his word, saying that he respects me, and I'm not gonna read the fine print. But I guess joke's on me, but not really, bud, because the joke's on you. Hell will be.
I don't think he knows what he's getting into.
He doesn't. I promise you.
So we talked about these guys winning the tag titles in December. Now an open challenge. Like who could it be, Doc? Who you think could step up to the plate here?
It could be anybody, but the thing is, a lot of these tag teams right now are in, the individuals are in these fatal 4-ways. So we'll have to see. I have a couple teams under my hat, but I'm gonna keep them to myself. So let's just say this: Swole Patrol. I hope you're ready.
Talk about being a fighting champion. How about winning a title and then open challenge right off?
That's because they're that cocky. They're that cocky.
What is this? The John Cena U.S. Open Challenge?
Hey, if you follow either one of these dudes on social media, they will let you know they know how good they are.
Yes, and they will let you know how fat you are too. Heard that.
These dudes aren't afraid to let you know. They know how good they are, and they.
I got made fun of for going to the gym and playing at fitness because thanks, VJ, appreciate it. All right, this one,
just winning a title, and now you're going to go up against friend of the show, Rev Ron Hunt. What do you think about this? Have they ever fought before, Doc?
I do not think they have. No, this will be the first time these two have actually thrown hands. And here's the thing, Rev Ron Hunt. I was walking out with John McChesney. We were discussing the win. We were discussing, they were going to celebrate the hell. They even invited me. But here come Rev out the bathroom, and Rev's, this is a different side of Rev. When
he might have been taking a poop.
Who knows? But all I know is this: he must have had an extra wipe in him because guess what? He didn't think his shit stunk at all, and he called out John McChesney, challenging him for that belt. Jordy Nolan ran over his foot, so this means war.
John McChesney got a huge pop when he won the title. A lot of fans were right there with him. On the other hand, Rev Ron Hunt wanted to fuck with everybody in the audience. He made no bones about it. He was just out to try to win, and he didn't give a crap about anybody in the audience, which is going to make this even more interesting.
So, like I said, we're going to be updating you guys on this event over the next upcoming weeks, and maybe even get some guests on here, which I've been kind of working on.
To get that video, if I Can Believe I Can Fly, because that little video clip was gold. Whoever put that together.
Or the skit from Dave Chappelle. I mean,
Oh yeah, I could poop on you too.
It's gonna be
Or
good.
Kelly doo-doo butter. All right. Anyway,
No, I wasn't even talking that.
So we will
but-
break
Oh.
down 2PW. That is Prospect Pro Wrestling here,
from
Southwestern
the
Pennsylvania.
motherfucking side.
Man,
boom.
it was a blast, and I had a good time. Got the nerves out. Back went out a couple of times. I can't complain with a bunch of wrestlers around me, but just an honor to be a part of that.
Yes, it
Company's
was.
such a family atmosphere. I mean, I could be here with my buddy Ron. See, my boy Ron Revon. Yeah, so smack me in the ass. I always like hanging out with my boy CJ too. There he is.
You have a picture of Ron smacking you in the ass?
Yeah, right here. You can't see my background.
Oh, you fucking mark. All right, let's go. Come on.
All right, yes.
Oh, it gets even better.
Oh, what's this?
Cantankerous old bastard.
Why was I?
My favorite
what
one's
was I
this
mad
one.
about that? What
This
was
is my
I
favorite
mad?
one because I like it.
Oh, this was the Okay,
Oh,
I remember this.
I see culmination and gory on the video wall.
You know what?
behind
This
you,
was an
so-
old. This is an old picture. This was an
Is
old.
it?
This is old.
Okay,
This was
okay.
definitely wasn't the fight before Christmas. That's not the shirt I had on.
From the
He's
side
just trying to
by
get
the-
himself over. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
Come on,
That's-
let's go.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move
Please.
on.
man.
Good
It's
sir.
fun. It's fun to do
Emotions.
that.
It's fun.
So
whenever-
emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out by the rink, okay? I'm reminiscing. Come on, guys. Let me get back to Christmas.
Getting your
There
ass
we go.
wrapped. Let's go.
All right, we're going to talk about the year in wrestling. We're not talking number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to talk about who you guys in the chat think were the best in these categories over the year 2022. Talk a little bit about things that are happening right now because there was a lot of shit going down, but we're going to concentrate on who you guys think are the best of the best from 2022 here in your six senses because your WrestleSense is your opinion on wrestling. You can't be wrong. People can say you're wrong.
Blaze,
You're never
Blaze,
wrong.
you know what I want to concentrate on? Where DH is.
I'm at a black and white gala. So no, I am not watching.
Can I get a
Spray him out everywhere.
We needed to get one in for the year.
Yeah,
That was
it's-
that was a
no,
good
okay,
intro for the first
Yeah,
year.
we could stick with the Hall, yeah.
All right.
But we're all better than the
Oh, we
white
got some
cow
oh yes
gala.
coming. Watch just
Yeah.
wait. You say we need a from the side wrestling federation.
I mean, we can make it happen. If anybody wants to be a money backer, you know,
There you go.
I'm game.
You
We'll
need
get
to
it
add
going.
a finisher, CJ. Call it from the side. Need some kind of
I
move
mean,
from the side.
Absolutely.
You got to come watch the shows to find out if he does, people.
Yeah.
So let's get into 6 different categories. Let's talk
Let's
about
do
little
it.
numbers first.
Yeah.
Here's some of the attendance figures for WWE's big shows of the year. Funny because the 25,000 Crown Jewel, that made more money than all the rest of them. And it's only 25,000. That's what stuck out to me too.
Wow.
I would have never guessed that if you asked me. how
Muy
many were Crown Jewel.
interesante.
Good to see you, Jay Vulture and Cody and Jamar in the house as well. Make sure you guys hit those thumbs up. And as we go through these categories, you guys in the chat, let us know who you think won that category as well. Before we get to the categories, you got a little fun stuff here. Total matches of the year. Of course, a lot of matches,
man.
for the
Workhorses. They're
lot of
workhorses, man. What can you say?
Okay.
Over 100 matches for anybody has got to be a lot. I mean, you're thinking
I'm
52
surprised that Liv had 109.
Yeah, she was always on there for a while. I mean, she was
Very
putting it out there.
interesting.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that's, I know we're covering different categories, but that's something that really stuck out to me. I'm like, wow,
Huh.
let's talk about how many losses. Biggest loser of the year. Not really a loser at all, but he was on that list. So over the years, here's the wrestlers who have had the most losses in a year.
You know what? Seth is still at the top of the game with 72
Yeah.
losses.
Yep.
You don't need the win. If you're over, you're over.
He's
That's
still
my
the
point.
he's still the benchmark, and I think one of the measuring sticks when it comes
Him
to
and
WWE.
Cesaro.
Yes.
Yep. That's why exactly, CJ, went right to the direction I thought when I saw this is
Mhm.
you may have the most losses, but it takes 2 to tango. And, even being in one of the categories later on, even with those losses. We're mainly going to focus on AEW and WWE at the end. There's a couple, but I just wanted to point this out because Impact had a really good year. We don't get to see it because it's on the same night as we are. I've seen some highlights. Alexander and Bailey is getting match of the year a lot of places.
Yeah.
If you watch any of Josh Alexander's title fights,
Oh, he's fucking
dude,
phenomenal.
Yeah, he's one of the best wrestlers in this area. Or not in this area, in this world.
Yep.
Excuse
Motor
me.
City Machine Gun's one of my favorite tag teams of all time, and Mike Bailey is a star.
Forgive me. I don't follow Impact as closely as I'd probably like to, but who is Bhupinder Gujjar?
I don't know who that is either, but apparently we got to watch out for him.
I mean, I'm with it. If you're telling me to watch out for this kid, I'm
Yep.
definitely going to, but I have zero idea, and that's no disrespect towards him, obviously, but yeah, no clue.
Another news, not Impact, but NWA went back to YouTube now. They're off of
I
Fight.
saw that. I
So
saw
you
that.
can watch their regular shows each week for free. And that's when I think Power was really good right before COVID. And they were doing some fun stuff, really old school 605 Saturday type stuff with the, no entrances and the interviews
mothership,
right there. Very
TBS.
cool stuff. So I wanted to shout out Impact a little bit for what they did this year. And, if they can get a bigger deal somewhere and maybe tour a little bit more, they got a hell of a lot of talent there. This is, I think, Sports Illustrated's WWE awards for the year. Roman and Bianca, not really a surprise. Rose and Rollins, Hell in a Cell, and the Usos, pretty cut and dry. If you want to ask if you're picking just from WWE,
Yeah, if you're
Can't
picking
argue
just
with
from
them.
WWE, I can't argue that.
yep, they're strictly WWE. So I figured I'd point that out, and let's get to some categories here soon. I think another slide or two. How about promo of the year? There was no list, but here's some pictures of some of the big promos of 2022. I don't know if you guys-
MJF
Yeah.
and
the Fight
Regal.
Bomb up top when he called him a mark and all that.
And not MJF and Regal.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that one too.
Yeah.
See, there's a handful of them, and you see MJF's in 3 of these.
Yeah.
So that tells you something right there. The Sammy one with the Uzi stuff started was pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't
it's
say
a simple fact that shows that people can have fun at work.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say promo of the year. I'd say it's got to be in the top for moment of the year.
I think it revitalized the bloodline. I was talking
yeah.
about it. My personal opinion, I was like, the bloodline's the same thing. It's kind of the mafia boss Roman with his boys every week, same thing. And then Sammy came along and just shook that fucking tree and made
Love
it so
I
interesting.
love it.
Jay White was in the news over the weekend too, obviously with Wrestle Kingdom. Don't have a lot of info here on that, but if you haven't seen his match with Okada and the Omega and Ospreay match, definitely check him out. I saw highlights, but definitely check him out.
I caught bits and pieces.
Ospreay Omega's already getting match of the year talk, and we just started.
Yeah.
So set the standard real high, and I'll
That's
see.
how it's done. That's how professionals do it, my friends.
Especially
Yeah.
greats like that at Japan, especially Nakamura versus Muda. I liked it.
I heard a rumor if Muda shows up at the Rumble, that would be so cool.
That would be awesome. Yes.
Because people like him that never really got their shine and now it looks like a little bit more connections with Carl Anderson over there at Wrestle Kingdom. Go check it out if you missed it. I just wanted to bring up promos because there was a lot of great promos this year, and that was just a little taste. Now, real quick, here's all the new additions for AEW this year. You guys in the chat as well, let me know. What's your best pickup for AEW and your worst?
Some of those aren't even there anymore. I
Yeah, I know.
Jake Atlas is canceled, I believe.
So if I were to pick,
Like canceled,
Wardlow was already there.
or
He just
Canceled. I think.
canceled.
because of his domestic abuse.
I think so. Yeah. I
But
could
if
be
I were
wrong.
to pick my favorite pickup of the year, it would have been Regal, but he's not there. So I go Samoa Joe. It's hard to not pick Swerve too from what he's doing in Keith Lee.
Biggest pickup of the year. I'm gonna throw you all a fucking curveball.
Claudio.
Takeshita.
That's a great
Takeshita
one.
is
He's
this.
one of
That's a
my
great
favorites. I've said that since day one. What
Takeshita.
about
I got it. Here's mine. Brody King.
Yeah.
Brody King is he's just a beast, and he's a tank, and he can move. I love
think
that
we're gonna
guy.
see a lot more of those 3 this year too. I'm already hearing rumblings.
And
that
I
we'll
agree
see a lot
with
more.
Atticus Black on our chat. Best pickup Danhausen from a merch standpoint.
Yeah.
Danhausen's very, very awesome. He's very entertaining. He's entertaining. I mean, he's
No,
promos.
I don't know if from the
merch standpoint, yes.
He's cleaning house. He's one of the top merch sellers in wrestling right now.
Is the top
I'm not doubting
at
that,
pro
but I
wrestling
don't
tees.
think he's the top.
One of the top.
One of the
As not
top,
a
but he is
seller.
the top. I know they said pro wrestling tees. He's the highest. of the year. He was
I've
the
always
highest of
said
the year. He
since
brought
day
in the
one,
most.
There's places for Danhausen, Orange
I'm going
Cassidy. I love those type of acts.
My worst is gonna
It
be.
has to be Jake Atlas. He never really even got to do anything. Willow's.
Oh no.
AQA.
Yeah, she got dumped not
Was
too long
not
after
was
she
not
started.
a fan. Was not a fan. I'm sorry. And that's
Who?
nothing against her.
AQA. I liked her, but she just never got off. She was like,
Yeah.
didn't get over, and she was out of there. Hardy, Jeff Hardy. Now there's rumors, and he may never wrestle again, coming from Matt.
And that's I honestly, with both myself and Doc working in the fields that we do, I think that's honestly probably the best thing for him.
It'll save his life.
Yeah, if it's for his health, yeah. I mean, I'd like to
Where's
see
pickups
him.
Paige Van Zant? Because they made her like.
Oh, I don't know. I gotta disagree with.
There's
that.
rumors
Why?
she
Because
will be coming back.
She didn't do anything. Like she showed up and then she left. So
I heard
I
that
just-
she wasn't
Thank
ready
you, Kelly.
for the transition. That's what I heard, and I love Paige Van Zandt. I just hear she wasn't ready, and they're going to try to bring her through. But yes, from expectation, Doc, I'm with you because she's a legit fighter. I thought she was going to be huge.
Yeah,
maybe
All
this
right.
will be her year. She needs a little more time. So let's flip the coin.
Yeah.
AR Fox and Jeff Jarrett are big, nice pickups too, and also Action Andretti. Here's all the pickups from Triple H brought back this year, and let's do the same thing. Your favorite and the one you think is the biggest flop. I go Bray as my favorite, although I want that story to go a little faster.
I'm going Cody Rhodes, who's not even pictured on here, I don't think.
No, he's not.
No, these are mainly the ones he brought back from NXT.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Killer Cross. I'm gonna go Karrion Cross because I was so bummed when they got rid of him. However, they're not. I'm not gonna get into it. But anyways, I'm happy
like
to
they
see
were going to
Cross
push him to the top, Doc. It looked like he was going to have a program with Roman or Drew or something, and it fell off.
Something's just not clicking yet, but they'll figure it out. They always do.
My worst one, Hit Row.
My worst one, I'm not saying all of Hit Row. I'm saying AJ Francis.
Now, after his over the top rope thing,
or whatever,
he tried to jump over the
or
top
like
rope
50
and
Cent.
hit it. They were calling him Hit Rope.
Yeah, and there was a little backstage. There was a backstage segment on Raw.
It was hilarious.
I think,
They ragged on him.
It was worth it. Yeah,
I love seeing that.
Kudos to him for
Yes.
steering right into it.
Address
You know?
it. Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Why not? It's everyone knows about it. You got to talk about it. Like Titus O'Neil when he did his little slip.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So we'll see how the rest of those pan out. And who's next? Who else can he pull out? Here's a bunch of list of people who were in the company, now aren't.
I think you're gonna see Mercedes Monet or whatever she's calling herself on Wednesday, tagging with Saraya.
I do too. Even though they're saying, yeah,
Tony.
yes,
Well,
I think Tony gets jumped in the back.
Sheeta's gonna beat the living shit out of her, even maybe as soon as tomorrow night.
I love it.
Because Rampage is live from the West Coast.
I believe it
tomorrow night.
is. Yeah.
So, yeah. Do I see anybody out of all these guys getting? If anybody were to go get their jobs back right off the bat, Bobby Fish, yes. Authors of Pain, definitely.
Enzo,
yeah.
I'd love to see him back.
I don't
He was always
know.
entertaining to me.
I'd like to see it, but he's burned a lot of bridges. EC3, I would love to see EC3 do it, but I think he's really, really involved in his own company.
His own thing.
yeah.
Not
Austin
on the
Aries,
list.
no way.
but already rumored for the Rumble. Looks like it's going to happen. Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona.
Great.
Good.
Let that.
Which
Mhm.
I'm all for that. Even if it's a one-time
know it.
shot for Cardona in the Rumble, I'd love to see it. So I think that was interesting. It was a crazy year for pickups and transfers.
I'd like
and
to
come
see
back.
him come back as Matt Cardona instead of Zack
Yes,
Ryder to
me
be
too.
100%.
Yes, I think
honest.
he wants that too.
Mhm.
All right, let's get into the first category.
Can I get a oh
All right. Number one category is comeback or return.
Chody, how did it get shut down by Dave Meltzer? And I don't know. I promise you, there's
Yes,
a
he
very
did.
good chance.
Report came out today from Meltzer that he said that he does not think it will happen now.
Well, you know
He's
what
hearing
that
rumblings.
means to me? Absolutely dick.
Me either. Because I think right now, Triple H and company, as well as some in AEW, they know that these words are getting out and they want to surprise people. So they're going to try to throw us for loops.
Brit's
And I
good at
love it.
throwing swerves, but I don't think she said I'm the boss here.
For nothing. Yeah.
Exactly.
nothing.
That's thank you. I've noticed that
Yeah,
too.
she
So that's what-
did a little wink after it. So, Doc, you first. Who is the comeback or return of the year?
Mother of God. I have to say I have a tie. I have to say Bray Wyatt and Stone Cold Steve Austin, because nobody thought he was going to do a match. Everybody thought it was going to be some stupid segment, and then he said, "All right, let's have a match." It was awesome to see Stone Cold, man. It was just great to see him get in there and do it. And then Kevin Owens, man, what a great job they did.
It was a great moment. CJ, what
And
about you? You got
This is a no-brainer for me. Cody Rhodes.
When I looked at this first, in the long run, I would say Cody as well. I'd like to say Bray, but he hasn't wrestled.
Yeah.
Stone
but
Cold,
still,
I love
Yes,
Cody.
my
he
God.
has.
Yeah,
Yes,
he did.
has.
House
in the
show
house
against
show.
Gender.
Yeah.
TV, he hasn't wrestled, but I can't wait for him in LA Knight to fight. Stone
Mhm.
Cold Steve Austin was a great moment, a big surprise. Saraya was a decent surprise. I'm a big fan of her, just to see how that is evolving over there. Bailey, I thought, ended up a flop. It was big when she brought all three back, though. That was a big.
Yeah, it was a pretty
Braun,
cool moment.
I didn't know if Braun would come back. He can be a beast. I just can't get the red skinny jeans out of my head either. Since the comment. But he's a beast. I wish him the best.
Yeah.
But I will go back to Cody because of his matches with Seth and what he did this year.
Come
That's my
back, Stone Cold, return Cody.
Good.
Bing,
Yeah.
bang,
It was-
boom.
Yeah,
It was
there
kind
you
of
go.
one category, but I mean, as the biggest surprise, I mean, Stone Cold was there, but did you think Bray was coming back? I didn't know. We were we gave up on him pretty much.
Biggest surprise, I would say, is definitely Bray.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the biggest surprise, I'd say. All right, there you go for comeback. So let's talk a little bit about Bray while we're here. Bray, over the last couple weeks, came out, did a little salute to Brody there with the yeah. We saw Uncle Howdy come out the first week, and then the second week, we saw him get into the ring. Now, here's what I really wanted to talk about. Who is Uncle Howdy?
Vincent
Dallas.
from ROH.
But here's what I watched very
Dallas.
closely. I think this version is Bo. Whether it
Yes.
ends up being Bo or not,
It
look
may
at
not.
the hair on the right side of the goatee.
Mhm.
It's almost exact. If he
Yeah.
grows that
Yeah. All
cum
right.
catcher in a little bit, or whatever they call it, flavor
Ah!
saver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
If he
There
grows
went
the
our
flavor
theme. There
saver a
went
little
our
bit more in the middle, I don't know what they call it.
Skeet.
It just really looks like that's Bo, man. I mean, from that picture. But who do you guys in the chat think he is? Last time we talked here, I was thinking Bray. It's all his other personas. But now I'm a little more leaning towards I think it's going to be someone
which
else.
way do you go with this? That's what
And
I want to
it'll
know.
be Bray versus Uncle Howdy at Mania, maybe. And then we finally get to see who he is.
What if it's Vincent Kennedy McMahon?
You son of a bitch.
It was me all along.
It was me all along, Wyatt.
Oh, man, you're going to make me cough up a lung.
Can I get a
Couldn't help but add those to the tag team of the year. I'm going to say right now, if anyone out there has a replacement for Alpha Academy, let me know. I think they're super entertaining, but I'm sure there's a team we can put there. Can't put the Briscoes. They've only had a couple matches that year. But RK Bro had a great run as champs. They were entertaining as shit. The Acclaimed on top of the world right now. Young Bucks, Legendary, FTR, and the Usos. I'm going to start with me. I can't not pick FTR because of what they've done in different companies. I think they've proven they're one of the best. Usos had a great year. Can't disagree with it. We saw how many matches they had. They're workhorses. But I'm going to go with FTR. What about you, Doc?
I'm going to go. Oh, my God. Come back to me. Come
It's
back
tough. CJ, do you have a favorite?
It's a no-brainer. FTR.
I can see arguments for the Acclaim as maybe the breakout tag team of the year and
Yeah.
Usos because of what they've done.
See, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say Acclaim deserves a breakout tag team since this is their first year. If he comes to tag team of the year, there's no way you do not give it to FTR. But one tag team I do feel that was stumped on this list is the Lucha Brothers. I think the Lucha Brothers had an amazing year. So I'll say that, but I will say FTR is tag team of the year, hands down. But close second, I'm giving it to the Lucha Brothers.
So FTR lost the AAA titles. They lost the ROH titles. And just the other night, they lost the New Japan IWGP titles.
Mm-hmm.
Rumors are they want to wrestle wherever they want next year, not
Good for
necessarily
them.
with anybody.
Good.
Good. Let
Does
them
that
do
mean
it.
a return to WWE? I wouldn't be mad at that either.
Yeah, but they would try to call them the Revival, and it'd be horseshit.
Exactly. I
Keep,
mean, unless
keep
they
the
are
FTR name because that is what is established right now.
Fuck the Revival.
We'll talk a little bit more about FTR here. I got some stuff I want to talk about. Let's see here. There was the match that now this turned into they lost the titles, and then Dragon Lee signs with WWE. So then they don't have a champ down there. And granted, Dragon Lee deserves, you ever seen his matches? He deserves a shot. AEW didn't sign him. They thought he was signed. And from what I read, Triple H, as soon as he found out he wasn't, scooped that peckerhead up. And I
had heard something a little bit different. That I heard that he was offered more money than what he's getting in WWE to go to AEW, but he chose to do WWE.
Yes.
He's going to be in NXT. That's already been announced. And he deserves it. He's one of the best luchas I've seen. One of the best wrestlers, put it that way. Him and Ray Phoenix, I could watch those two fight every day of the week all night.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what Dax and Cash do this year, too. And if you saw the promos they cut after they lost these belts, they ain't going nowhere. Actually, they're going everywhere is what they sounded like they wanted to do. And while they can fight as many as they can, they want to go down as the greatest tag team of all time.
They're not far off right now, in my opinion.
I think overall, the only one I would put above them now would be Road Warriors, and I would put the Dudleys, because the Dudleys had so many damn titles. Many, over such a long time. That's just me. But yes, they're definitely top 5, and they probably will end up greatest tag team of all time if they keep going for a couple more years. We got FTR over here. FTR, claimed in the Usos. FTR, Dragon Lee. Yep, he is something special. I agree. All right. This is interesting here. Speaking of Dax, did you guys see this?
Oh, yeah, I seen this. I did see this.
He wondered what was floating around in his knee. They pulled a fucking button out of his knee.
Yeah.
So I did a little research, and I wanted to find out where this button
whose
came
tights
from.
did they come from?
Well, mister, whoever smelt the Delta, because I think I found the culprit.
Yeah.
Right here. CJ Sensation.
Taking
the button off the belt right there.
I love it. I love it.
There's the button that ended up in Dax's.
I was going to blame Tony Kincaid, but go ahead.
Classic. I love it.
I like the red and black ref shirt too, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that Revenge?
No, that is IWC.
Oh, man. I like the haircut.
Revenge, I got the black and blue.
You were looking fresh there, CJ. With the
I need
He always looks fresh. What are you talking about?
I'm not feeling very fresh right now. Although there was a lot of fresh fuckery going on today. I probably.
Hey, Summer's Eve brings back to freshness. Don't forget.
There's where the button in Dax's knee came from. I found
Can I get a
All right, let's move on, brother. I'm
Third
tired.
category here: female
please.
wrestler of the year: Jade, Rhea, Becky, Bianca, Jamie, and Jordan Grace from Impact. Doc?
Jamie Hayter, by far. I think she has done phenomenal. I mean, she went from being a sidekick to a main eventer, and she didn't even really, how can I put this? I mean, she did all the hard work herself, so God bless her. Jamie Hayter, 100%.
CJ?
Jamie Hayter.
I love Jamie Hayter. I think she's done a phenomenal job throughout the whole year. I'm going to give a very slight edge to one of my favorites, Bianca, because of the year-long story that was told with the Becky thing. She came all the way back from that 36-second loss to continue to win and try to fight all the way back. People were knocking that story from day one. She should have never lost in less than a minute, blah, blah, blah. But after seeing Bianca now prove she is one of the best women on the planet from
I'm gonna say a very unpopular opinion here. There's another someone that was stumped from the list would be Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan. I mean, my God, look at what she did. I mean, I know you're saying because the title win was not great, but my God, the impact that crowd hit that pop when she walked out there. So I mean, just the fact that the fans did get behind her at one point. So
if I look at this list and say most improved, I'd say Jade Cargill. Because she's still not where she needs to be, but she still looked phenomenal. That's never a question. But
I know we're not ranking, but I'm saying, like, after Jamie, I'm going to Rhea, brother. Jamie, Rhea, then Bianca.
If you haven't noticed, these lists are ranked. It's no DQs list. Top left is 1, 2, 3, and bottom is 4, 5, 6. That's how no DQ had them listed. That's why I didn't want to do numbers. I figured we would just pick our favorites.
Right.
because
what Rhea has done this year has been pretty
Mhm.
remarkable.
and a lot of it not in the ring. I mean, she does
that's
it in the
fine.
ring, but her character development is phenomenal this year. I agree.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yep.
There you go.
Your career will last longer.
Next.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestle Kingdom. Talk about women's wrestling a little bit. She did show up to Chris Cross's jump.
Rock on. That's cool. That's actually pretty cool. Even though
I'm torn
Snoop
about
Dogg's
it.
your fucking cousin.
As a mute, yeah. So I thought Snoop would be like, let's make an original song. Nipsey Hussle also used that same beat in 2009.
You're gonna hear an original one Wednesday.
It's from a 70s song originally, so sampling, yes. But as soon as she came out, I'm like, Criss Cross Jump. It had the bass line and the melody. She looked phenomenal.
Yes, she did.
Her hair was crazy because the blue burning out.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did you notice that too? I was hoping you noticed that with the blue burning
cool.
out.
A
Yeah,
lot of
I like
people
how they're.
a lot of people were blaming her for her finisher not working well. Kyrie's knees hit when her feet were supposed to hit into a stunner. She wraps her up from behind, gory special, I believe, and when she drops it into a DDT. But when you look at Kyrie's, some people are saying her legs weren't secure on the gory, but when she landed, it was Kyrie's knees that hit instead of her feet to take the thing. So it didn't look that great. And when you're only doing one move, you want to hit it.
Yeah, but it wasn't as bad as people are making it
Yeah.
out.
She sold it well.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mercedes. It's tough to
it's
not
people
say
that are
Sasha.
mad her name isn't Sasha anymore. Those are the people that are
I'm
bitching.
glad her name's not Sasha.
Me
anymore.
too. I'm just saying those are the people that are bitching about the move.
So she
Well,
will be fighting
and-
Kyrie at the end
In
of the
no
month.
disrespect, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but
Yes.
like those are the people that don't understand the business.
I wish her the best. Listen, I'm a huge.
I thought I'd let you go ahead and say that.
Mercedes. I'm a huge,
I'll
I was
say
like,
it.
I'm
You
letting
know
CJ
me.
handle. I know what he's going to say already.
I'm a huge fan of hers, but I'm also a realist. People like her and Mandy Rose are stars.
Yes,
But they're not going to be as big as stars as they would be with the WWE machine behind them.
I
disagree.
I might agree with you a few years ago, but 2023, I'm not gonna agree
I'm
with
just
you.
saying.
It's
They
a
were
whole
made
new
there,
world out there, man.
Yeah,
and
a
when
whole
you
new
have
world out
that
there.
machine behind you, and I've been a critic of WWE left and right for this year we've been doing this. But if you think about it, and like I said, I wish them both the best. Mandy's made $1 million in December.
That's
just on her
because she
fans.
has a great body.
Yeah.
And people
That's-
pay to see it.
Without the worldwide notifications, except for just that page, I think she falls off. That's just my opinion. I hope she does the
I
best. I'm not-
disagree.
I
And let's
disagree
be
with you
honest.
100%.
Did
when she's not on TV, Mandy's going to be just as popular a year from now. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Did WWE help put Mercedes on the map? Yeah, but she's a damn good machine on her
Great.
own publicity.
Yes, she is.
Plus, she's a great worker. And
Mhm.
I don't totally disagree on why she left. She stood her ground and wanted to bring that tag
She
team
bet on
division up.
herself.
Yeah.
She did. And she just
Um,
won great though. I think she's gonna hit. I think she's gonna blow
Yeah.
up, and I think it's gonna be cool because look at Cardona right now.
So
I-
here's
I-
another
it's
You
one.
can't be famous,
Another one.
but it's going to be tough to be more famous than when you got the machine behind you. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
I mean,
And
her
agree,
partner,
agree
Naomi?
to disagree.
Naomi right now pretty much confirmed to be back in WWE very soon. That's
Well,
all
you
over
know.
the place right now. And to
Married
me,
rules.
put her in the bloodline, dude. That's the
Yeah.
next evolution of the bloodline. Bring her in. I
Mhm.
would be down for that.
Moving
I'd rather
on.
have
That's the
Tamina
best
to go
place
on.
for. That's the
Go
best place for her, in my opinion. But good luck to Mercedes.
Can I get a oh
She says money. It's Monet or money. I don't know. We'll find out. Male wrestler of the year. Roman, Moxley, MJF, Punk, Rollins, or Zayn. CJ, who do you got as your male wrestler of the year?
Seth Rollins.
Workhorse. We saw, even with a lot of losses, look at the impact he had throughout the year. Great stuff. See, Doc.
There's a tie between MJF and John Moxley, just for the simple fact that MJF is just taking the world by storm, and just more his mouth than his wrestling ability. And I will say this about John Moxley: John Moxley sticking in there when all the shit went down, and still has not gone on vacation yet.
Mhm.
CJ, you wanted to elaborate?
I did.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
That was
That's
my
why I
fault.
held off. And I'm basing this off of wrestler. Roman Reigns didn't do a whole lot of wrestling, and I'm not taking away for him being one of the top attractions of 2022. That's why I gotta go Seth, man.
Can't disagree with that. I mean, as far as being a professional wrestler, a superstar, whatever you want to call it, your persona is a huge part of it. You know,
It is.
your character development is a huge part of it. And like I said, I thought Roman and the Bloodline was getting a little stale, but the Sammy stuff is phenomenal. Can't wait to see what they do with that next. Punk shit his bed halfway through the season. Sammy's been a huge surprise. If you want a surprise of the year, I'd say Sammy's proven he's a top talent. Seth is a workhorse.
Yeah.
MJF finally culminated that story he's working on. I would go to Moxley, in my opinion, for what he did, just like Doc was saying.
No, I don't disagree with you.
They needed someone to carry. And if you look at his matches of the year, yes, he bleeds in every match, but he's a brutal performer. That's what he does.
He is,
But he wins, and he continued to win, and he proved he was on the top of his game. So I'll go Moxley.
Cool.
Two more categories real quick to go through.
Yeah, let's get there.
Head off here. Just real quick, this is that guy that
is with the
Swerve.
Mogul affiliates.
Yeah, he doesn't have. They still haven't set a name for him, but his name is Grandin Goatsman, and former Tampa Bay Ray and Cardinal baseball player. So
Pretty high up in the draft. If I
Yes, he was.
He's a monster. Right. I can't wait to see if he can work. That's my
second round, maybe. I could be wrong. I'm not a big baseball fan, but
I really like Swerve having a little click. Because I think he's one of the best heels in the company. So I want to see where that goes. I'm very interested. But right now it's still
Can I get a
Let's talk real quick about moment of the year. Vince retires, which already in the news now that he's coming back this year. Sasha and Naomi walk out. The CM Punk scrum. Cody leaving for WWE. Stone Cold's return, or MJF's pipe bomb. Doc, can you separate one as the moment of the year?
I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes.
It was definitely a surprise. Not too many people would have thought one of the guys that created AEW would leave
and then
go back
boom.
like it.
Worst kept secret ever, but
It's still very impactful, and we haven't even seen the total impact of it yet till he comes back from that injury. Like what happens this year?
I bet
will
you
CM Punk scrum shouldn't even be considered a moment of the year. It actually should be considered a disappointment and an embarrassment to the business.
Fucking shit bag of the year.
I think what happened was so newsworthy. It's going for moment. I mean, Sasha and Naomi still having ripple effects of that. MJF pipe bomb. We talked earlier about promo of the year. I can't not pick the Vince thing because it changed so much in wrestling. I mean, it's not even a wrestling moment. If I'm going to pick a wrestling moment, it would be Stone Cold's return because it was a hell of a moment, like we said earlier. But Vince is retiring. We never would have guessed it. How it changed the business so much with Triple H. That has to be the moment of the year, in my opinion. But that's huge.
Cody.
And if you look at that, there's only one that's actually a fight when our moment of the year. So a lot going down in wrestling this year, and we didn't even talk about because of how.
Do we have to talk about?
No,
that?
move on.
The show was good overall, but
move
you'd
on.
think that
it showed how Jeff Jarrett
would be.
It showed. It showed how Jeff Jarrett could be the greatest heel ever. And it still has it. Yes.
Match of the year: Cody Seth, Hell in a Cell, Briscoe's FTR 2, Gunther Sheamus, the banger, MJF CM Punk dog collar match, Brock and Roman with the tractor, Men's Survivor Series. And a lot of people are throwing that Josh Alexander Mike Bailey match. If you haven't seen that, you have to go watch it. It's phenomenal from start to finish.
Can I go first?
Yes, CJ. Give me your match.
No brainer. Seth and Cody, Hell in the Cell.
Doc?
Seth and Cody. There's just the fortitude and just what he showed that night to still get up there and do what he did.
Yeah. Brock and Roman was cool because of the tractor thing, but overall not a phenomenal match in my opinion. The bloodbath between Punk and MJF, we saw a lot of bloodbaths this year. Gunther and Sheamus was definitely a banger. I want to see Gunther fight a whole bunch. I think Sheamus is rejuvenated with this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
FTR Briscoe's tag team match of the year, sure. It was phenomenal.
I wouldn't even say that.
But Seth and Cody is going to be mine because of the story behind it. So much involved in it, and the way someone to overcome what he was going through to win that match. Definitely my match.
I like that there's some different choices in the chat. Like you said, it's everybody's own WrestleSense. But
great year for fights, man. I mean, it was like the explosion after the COVID. You had that COVID era where everything was slowed down. People were but I think this year it's really back.
Oh yeah,
and that proves it. You got Seth and Cody, people like Gunther and Shane. The War Games match I enjoyed too, even though I'm a War Games loyalist. I want the top on it and everything, but I did enjoy it. It
The
told a
Stadium
great
Stampede was all right.
was-
Eddie Kingston bringing out a gas can. That was amazing.
I mean, let's be honest. They were all good matches.
Yeah.
3 other matches that made some of the
My
list.
personal taste is Seth and
Yeah,
Cody.
it was a good
Mine
match.
too, because it just showed a lot of it just showed what someone who has a
It was
passion for this-
real. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
So Anarchy in the Arena made some lists. Okada and
That's it.
Ospreay.
Anarchy.
Ospreay and Okada made some lists, and the Alexander Speedball Bailey match made some lists. So definitely a phenomenal year in wrestling, man. I can't speak for it enough from all that. Now here's rumored plans for Mania as our last little segment. It looks like it's going to be, if Cody is cleared, it'll be Cody versus Seth for the WWE title. This can change a million times. It's just this popped up a bunch of times.
So Roman's going to have to lose one of them before WrestleMania.
Yeah,
then.
so they're saying Seth wins the WWE title somehow. Okay. Roman will defend against The Rock if they get him. If they can't get The Rock, it'll be Roman versus Cody, and it'll be Seth Drew. I'm good with any way it ends up.
I'm good with any. Me too.
I don't want to know what it is. I'm kind of tired of that with the wrestling community in the world. Is everyone trying to guess? Is Mercedes going to show up on Wednesday? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen?
I got a great fucking idea. Watch it and find the fuck out.
Yeah, I just want to wait and find out, man. I mean, that's the way wrestling used to be. I like trying to guess and stuff, but it's just it's overkill anymore. Let's get to the end of the day right now. Baby.
Yeah.
The end of the day, CJ Sensation 2023 is going to be one crazy year for you, bro.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is the end of the day, and I'm fucking exhausted, but I promise you this, Preston Everest, come the end of this year, you're going to be my bitch, bud.
Oof.
Doc, at the end of the day, Doc.
At the end of the day, it's been a hell of a show, and last year was a hell of a year for professional wrestling. I'm excited to see where 2023 takes us, not only on TV but also myself, CJ, you professionally. I'm looking forward to that. So it's going to be a great year for the WrestleSense podcast, also that wrestling podcast. It's going to be some good times.
At the end of the day, Monstar hanging out here in my little corner peeking at me.
Monstar, I love you.
I got my Fuji.
Yeah.
I got my Percy. And as we always say, your WrestleSense is your opinion on pro wrestling. Enjoy it. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, cheer who you want to cheer, boo who you don't like, and just have fun with it. It's a great time to be a pro wrestling fan. And We'll see you next week with more WrestleSense from the side. Peace.